entertainment, educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, the FTDs are out of control and they're just breaking records every single day. But somehow the DOJ, the FBI, the SEC, the DTCC don't see anything that requires an investigation. And this is why these bad actors are fighting me tooth and nail in the court to turn over that trading data of AMC, GME, MMTLP, and a whole lot of other stocks that they're manipulating, because that trading history is going to be the smoking gun that exposes a majority of the fraud and corruption in the market. For fiscal year 2024, they already have more than $6.6 trillion in FTDs, failure to deliver, counterfeit shares. Yet somehow the DOJ, the FBI don't see anything that warrants an investigation. They're doing on average about $26.9 billion a week in failure to deliver, which means $26.9 billion a week in counterfeit shares. And who is holding them accountable? Absolutely nobody. Could you imagine if they were moving 26.9 billion a week in counterfeit Gucci bags, counterfeit Louis Vuitton bags, counterfeit Mercedes Benzes? What would happen? There would be a joint task force looking for these bad actors and putting them in handcuffs. But somehow in the financial industry that we call the United States of America, you can create billions of counterfeit shares every single day. AMC, GME, MULN, NEO, MMTLP, and a whole lot of other companies, and nothing happens to you. No other industry would you be allowed to create counterfeit merchandise of that industry and not be indicted and not be arrested. But somehow, because these bad actors donate so much money to the politicians and the politicians appoints the heads of these agencies, they can continue doing this every single week with no repercussions whatsoever. This is absolutely crazy. Can you imagine any other industry where you're failing to deliver $26.9 billion a week and nobody sees a problem? Nobody sees anything that warrants an investigation.
That's George Donahue. You see him down here. He's got a lot of subscribers. I met him here in DC. He's a tall guy, very compassionate, as you can tell, or passionate and compassionate. But I stopped at 3 minutes so you can go watch him and see what else he says. I don't think he would care, but I bet he wouldn't. Maybe he wouldn't like me to play his whole video. But that's George Donahue. I'll try to get Ham on today. I had to go to the doctor. I guess the good news is I've been approved for my cataract operation in 2 weeks. Bad news is I have to go get my cataract operation, and I hope, it closes at 4. Oh, I thought it closed at 1. All right, well, I guess I learned, live and learn. Shows I don't know everything. So it's a very small audience today. You're such a lovely audience, we'd like to take you home. I don't know if you something, but here's the Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Club Band. Do you notice, everyone? I can't help but point this out. Do you notice the shills weren't here yesterday or today? Do you know why? There's a holiday going on. Now, I'm not trying to say anything anti one way or the other. I'm just saying it's a club and you're not in it. I'm not in it. And um, what I said the other day, I meant is that there's a tendency not to rat on people in your community. That goes for Irish cops, Italian firemen, or the other way around, or it just goes that way. But you'll notice they're all on holiday. All right, so I guess I've got to. I didn't know that. I'm going to log off because it's not working, so I can give you some prices. My dog recovered yesterday, but it did not look good. At 6 o'clock, I went to the vet, and the guy there on the counter. The vet wasn't available; she was busy. But the guy manning the counter told me from the video I showed him that my dog looked like he still wanted to be alive. And sure enough, my dog is up today. All right, so fingers up 5 cents. I was wrong about Railtown vis-a-vis finger. Railtown is essentially 32 cents. I don't know if I've mentioned this enough to you guys, but there's a company, Next Trip, which I'll try to talk about Thursday and Friday. I don't know why I'm raising my voice. That's $6. Nix is up 66 cents. So that pattern on that chart is a head and shoulders, but a bullish head and shoulders to my eyeballs. ZJYL back down to 78 cents. GDC back down to 189. DJT basically just under 35. G-Bucks 132. Nvidia's down 3. If you own Nvidia, why not sell a little bit and buy Intel? Or buy the semiconductor ETF. I forget the symbol for that right now. But man, these stocks are overpriced. And silver's $29, and there was a guy on here, I think his name was Doug Patterson, accusing me of stealing money in his here, which we don't have to get into that. He obviously was just upset. But the gold company that some of you invested in, you sent the money directly to the company, not to me. Fingers crossed, that money, that final financing will come in today, Thursday, Friday. Then I can have I wanted to have a year-end call, but now it'll be a year beginning call about that. Logic, I'll try to have some news when the guy gets back from traveling. Yeah, I don't know what else. Finger Ham, hopefully he'll come on. I'll let Ham know I'm live, but let me just see if there's any. I wonder. Wanda. I wonder. Cheers, everyone. God willing. Yeah, it's going to be a tough year, 2025. Trump may delay everything, but a lot of the arithmetic is written in stone. But I think we got to get into silver, we got to get into gold, got to get into oil and gas, got to get you into my life. I used to be mad at my shill holiday. Well, just to be blunt, most of the guys that do this are Jewish. They're men and they're Jewish. They're white, male, straight, and Jewish. That's what they are. That's who does this failure to deliver on a giant scale. There's one guy, Ken Griffin, who I think is a quarter or half Jewish, but he's mostly, I guess, whatever Griffin is, Irish or Scottish. But in large part, these guys all keep their mouths shut because their cultural relationship they value more highly than their relationship to the United States of America's financial markets and integrity. That's my theory. I don't mean anything bad by it, but it's just plain as day. No one wants to talk about it, but that's what it is. And then the regulators, the people that run everything, it's a big fraternity. And as an Irish Italian Catholic, I'm not invited. And I wouldn't want to be that corrupt anyway. By the way, it's a subset of there are not many of these guys doing it. It's a small amount of people doing it. But I think they're all criminal. They're all breaking the laws. They think they're clever because they have lawyers protecting them. They're cheaters. They're cowards. And they shouldn't be celebrating. But it's not my decision. That's God's decision. It's God's decision. I can't judge others. I've got enough to deal with this old chunk of coal. Looks like silver, nothing happened with. What happened to potential? Will it go up? Look, if you're buying silver for GME type moves, go to the casino. Put all your money down on Red 32. But silver, Karthik, silver is not a trade. Silver is not, I'm buying it at $29 and I'm going to sell it at $100. Silver is, I'm getting out of fiat currency. I'm getting out of the United States dollar. I'm getting out of hell. I'm getting out of credit risk. I'm getting out of slavery. I'm getting out of the financial system. I'm becoming my own central bank. That's what silver is. That's what gold is. Probably platinum and palladium as well. And I certainly believe so with oil and gas too. Sorry, I'm getting worked up on all that because I can't believe Lion of all trades. I didn't know it. I thought it closed at 1. I don't speak that way. I don't speak that way. But I do point out they're Jewish. I mean, if you want to use a slur, use a slur. I don't want to use a slur. Hey, Big JR. Well, I think I've been giving it quite a bit of thought. I think ZJYL and GDC both are stocks where a group of wealthy investors own more than the float. Therefore, there's a potential for a squeeze. I think Nixie, similarly, there's a lot of ownership amongst, I don't know, 6 to 12 to 18 people, and it's low float. And they've got actually a fundamental story too. So that, looking at the charts, which I've shown you when it was recruiter.com, and that CEO that came on, what an impressive video. He probably criticizes mine. But anyway, he got 250,000 shares to do a 2-minute video. But there was a lot of shorting while he was in charge of Recruiter. But now all of a sudden, he's fighting shorts. Not impressive to me. I would say he's a little slow on the uptake. Next Trip has a fundamental story, very low amount of shares outstanding. But Rail, the thing about Rail, I don't know if they have any shorts. They may well do. But Rail is a revaluation. It's as I showed the video yesterday, you probably fell asleep. But they've created a proprietary software in a closed system that solves a problem, and they're the first movers, and it's valuable. So Rail, in a way, is, whenever it goes, it's got a real reason to go up the hockey stick of valuation. It's gone from R&D to product performance, customers next, revenue growth next, and ring the bell. Somebody buys them in a year or two. That's what I think. It's totally anti-Semitic. I don't think so, Jay. I think that guy using that term is, but it's not anti-Semitic to notice that every single guy that shorts the stocks, that issues the toxic financial notes, that regulates, and that our lawyers are all Jewish. That's not anti-Semitic. I guess Philip Vallier probably isn't Jewish, but Jeff Easton is. The Kramers are. I don't know why is it anti-Semitic? It's just noticing that, Jay, you're a guy. When I was in college, I ended up on the drug hall, even though I don't do drugs. All guys. I never told anyone, never ratted on anyone, never said, hey, there's cocaine here, there's whatever the other crap was and that crap going on. I didn't say anything. Why? I'm a guy, and I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to rat on anybody. That's all I'm saying. I don't find that anti-Semitic. I just think it's factual. They're not going to tell on each other. And that's not anti-Semitic. Doesn't mean that everybody on Wall Street who happens to be Jewish and male is a criminal. It means this small group, this small coterie of criminals are Jewish. I don't think it's anti-Semitic. You and Ham keep blaming the Jews. I'm not saying they're anti-American. I didn't say that. I think the American stock market is under threat by it. So if that's what you mean, I'm saying these criminals are anti-American. They happen to be Jewish. I'm not saying Jews are anti-American. In fact, I think it's very clear that America has been built on the hard work, the brains, the smarts, the faith of Jews and many other cultures. But Jay, please, you're a smart enough guy. Next time you see a fund who deals in failures to deliver, you point out when it's an Irish Catholic. You point out when it's an African American. You point out when it's a woman. You point out when it's a Polak. You point out when it's an Asian. Just point it out. Until then, I don't know. I don't want to get down the, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not blaming, as you put it, I assume you're Jewish, the Jews. I'm saying those criminals, that's who I blame. They happen to be Jewish. It's like the gang members that Joe Biden let in and Kamala Harris let in. They're Venezuelan. Guy, you got to notice it. You got to notice it. How do you fight it if you don't notice it? But I guess we'll pretend that this is a crime that is spread across all manner of people. So we can't narrow our search down. We can't find out that there's this little mafia subset of people that do it. Whatever. I'm not going to apologize for noticing that the theft of our markets and the lack of regulation is aided and abetted. Gary Gensler is Jewish. Every one of the hedge funds that take advantage, those guys are Jewish. The lawyers are Jewish. The people that do it are Jewish, and they're all white males. I'm not going to apologize for noticing that. Does it mean anything? Probably not. Probably not. And luckily, you can hide behind, oh, you're being anti-Semitic. So that justifies the Kramer brothers, Nadich, Gensler, Friedman, Blink and Flink and Cohen and that fund, Rothstein at the one fund, and Jeff Easton. I guess they're protected. They can do all this because if you criticize them and notice that they all are on holiday today and they put their fealty to each other above following the law, somehow that makes you anti-Semitic? No, you owe me an apology. I'm not being anti-Semitic. I'm pointing out these guys are in a club and they value that club above the law. Anyway, I'm not anti-Semitic. My dog is Jewish. No, I'm just kidding. He's looking at me, though. He's looking at me. He's looking at me. He's looking at me. Lucky boy. Lucky boy. I'm not. I guess I don't like Netanyahu, so that gets me in trouble. But I do like, until I saw him in concert, my favorite, or one of my favorite singers. Very embarrassing to show up at college with Neil Diamond albums, but I did. Oh, all right, I'll call him. I'll call him. Let me just get my speaker working.
Battery 20%. Connected to Bill's iPhone.
It's just like this thing of ours. It's the same idea. You couldn't be made unless you were Italian or Sicilian. It's the same thing because human beings know, men know, you're not going to turn on your own. You're not going to do it. It's just an observation. It's just an observation.
Your call has been forwarded to voice.
Call ended.
All right, I tried him. All right. New year. I'm not going to tolerate people who are here just to cause fear. We don't have time for it. We don't have time for it anymore. All right. I think you should be, oh, I see what I got to do. Put this down here. All right. You should be live.
Are you ready?
I think so. Let me see what I can do best of all. All right. That's best of all.
Listen, I hope a happy new year for everyone who had a miserable year. Hopefully next year is going to be very good for us. And I think we'll be off on the right step. Anyway, let's go from here. First of all, winning my MLSS. I was almost even. I predicted I'd be even today, and it just can't get there.
You had a winning trade.
I know, but I'm
You
here again.
turned it into a boozer.
I turned it into a loser. But anyway, we'll get out of that one. I didn't want to take a $6,000 loss, especially when the company had good news. And for people that buy a stock and you're not happy about what happens, as long as the company's doing the right thing and the business is real, you have to take that into account instead of just panicking and losing. Because you watched MLSS, I paid 101, it went straight down to 60-something cents, right? And I said that the company had good news and I won't bail out. And here it is now. Whether I get out once it breaks above $1 is a different story. I'll see what happens. But you know what? Breaking even sometimes is not a bad thing and I can move on. The story hasn't changed. It's just, what's the timing? How long do I want it to be tied up in something? That's a different story. But I didn't dump it out the window to take a loss, which is important because the same thing happened to me in GDC. Remember, I paid higher and I bought stock at 70 cents. I think I did average down. Then I sold it at 7 when it returned. So I didn't dump it. I was down, but I turned it into a profitable trade. So sometimes you just gotta, instead of panicking, and I got it, we all panic, I understand. I'm just trying to show you the other side of it, how it works sometimes. Right, so that was, so you understand about that. William, by accident, I bought this GBUX I told you about it.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be a big stock in this year coming up. And the stock actually went up to almost 149 today. I told you I purchased it at 75 cents. And a friend of mine called me back today, and believe it or not, in a stock that's thinly traded, some idiot is short 270,000 shares trying to cover now. That just shows you these guys, no matter, it doesn't make a difference what a company does, they know nothing about it. It's just a number, and they seem to bet against these numbers. But this stock is so thin that these guys have basically trapped themselves. He thinks they're short at an average price around 80 cents. So someone's got a nice little problem here, and it's either they're going to get bigger or they're going to get wiped out. I think the day has come where I think these smaller players that are playing these games that short like this, are going to toss in the towel. The ones that are in trapped or like a finger motion, DJT. I think these guys are trying to work out of these things. And I think that Trump is going to spank them all. But I think any small players getting into the game now, they're going to be short and sweet, meaning they may sell 100, but they're going to turn around and they're going to cover. That's my opinion, William. What do you think of that?
Makes sense to me.
I mean, I just think that before they would build into it, and now with all the shit coming out, I think it's now, hey, we'll take a shot, it didn't work, and then they're going to cover. So I'm probably gonna, if it does explode, I may sell half of my position at $4. So that's what I'm gonna do. Otherwise, I'm not paying attention, and we'll see what happens in 2025. Like I was told, something's gonna happen. Let's see what happens then. But it'd be nice to see a guy take advantage of a guy tossing in the towel, taking a quick beating, and moving along, which I think is going to happen. Finger motion, let's move it along. Finger motion, standing at 122, 123. The company is, we suggested to the company to hire Binance.net and get some real data out here for everybody to see. And I think we're going to see it in the coming days. And as I said before, the company we heard is trying to get Roth Capital, their banker, to give them permission to make statements. And I've heard the company is working on that. But we're in the middle of, a holiday. And if people don't understand that the big shots on Wall Street usually disappear around the holidays. Us, me, the peasants, we're always here. Noted, William, I didn't include you in it, so you're not a peasant status yet, William. We'll get you there soon. You're still a blue blood.
I'm working hard to get there.
You're on the race to become a peasant like the rest of us. But these guys, Wall Street's a funny place, always the rank and file, we're always here. And the higher ups always disappear. I've never taken off and went away on a holiday. I've always been here on the slowest days. I've always been at my post. These guys always seem to do it. So I'm hearing from the big shareholders that they're working on trying to get the company to get permission to make the statements that we want to hear is A, the dividend, and B, what they're going to do with the money. Let's talk about the money for a second. I heard the money's in the company's bank account. They paid $1.50. The shorts paid $1.50 for it. Again, I don't care if it's a Tillet or Hun. All right, they paid $1.50. Who's selling it below $1.50? That was the naked shorts, washing trades and crossing trades, trying to hold it down, trying to knock out any bids, trying to get people to panic. That's not happening. The company is now financed with some pretty solid money now, besides the money they have that they use for their top-up business or the SMS or the big data. I have to assume this $5 billion is for this big emergency vehicle thing where the CEO spoke about it. If you watch the videos again, I picked the guy at the car wash yesterday, William, and he was going to my finger motion. I showed him the video with you and Martin. And he said to me, how is this stock not higher yet? I said, well, it's just, I had to teach him about naked short selling then. But the company will have to show us what to do with the money. And we all think that it's got to be attached to that because Martin said that once they do an installation, they have to lay out the money and it takes 3 months, or was 90 days, I think he said, I think that was 90 days or 60 days to get their payment back. And I think that if you keep taking money from your working capital, you're going to hurt your top-up business, your SMS, and those things. And that's the reason why they needed the money. That's our guess. That comes from pretty big shareholders that we all agree on the same thing, because there's no other reason to all of a sudden to take this money. Maybe they were getting pressure from the Chinese government because if you are not fulfilling the contract fast enough, you could lose it. So that could be the only thing that we can think of for having a change of heart trying to raise the money. Well, they did raise the money. We believe the short is 230 million plus the 1.3 now of the real short. So we're at 230. If you take away the 3 million they gave away plus the 5 million warrants, if that was the dilution to this company, okay, you're talking 8 million shares. We're at 230 plus the 1.3. We're at 232. We're down what? To 225, but in 224, whatever the number is, 223. That's a lot of shares to cover, no matter what. I do believe that the naked short was drifting closer to 250 million, but I'll stay at the 225, whatever it is, right down here. And the company is stronger now, believe it or not, even though they covered, potentially, if they covered 3 million shares, that's for sure. That was the dilution from the deal. To get the other 5 million, they have to pay the company $1.50 for those warrants. So if that does happen, the company's going to wind up with another $7.5 million in the bank. So the shorts basically are going to have to fund the company, and if they do fund the company, they're only making their position worse. So from this point on, this company got stronger and better. There's no question they need money. They're not reversing the stock. So anybody who says that, that's a dumb statement. The company has the money now. It's in the bank. Let's see what they say going forward. And hopefully we get the news on the special dividend from that audit. He said mid-December. He said you had to wait for the auditor. If anybody is an auditor that's ever dealt with them, I've never done it, so I don't know. Why would it take longer? I guess it's a holiday wherever they're doing it also. I don't know. Any questions, William?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't let MLS go over $1. Yes, I know. I see it. I had a friend of mine that wanted to sell DJT that he picked off at the bottom. He put it out at $35.60. We discussed it this morning. I tried to help him out. The stock got to $35.49. He missed it by 11 cents. That would have been a nice trade. He could have bought it back already. Anything else, William?
I own finger stock, not Roth stock. Okay.
Okay, so I don't know what that means, but
That was that conversation we were having earlier.
Listen, we're all following finger motion, but I cannot talk about the same thing 24 hours a day, so I open my mind up and look at different things. You could block out anything else I say. It's sunny out, it's cloudy out. Say, I don't give a shit about that. Then don't listen to it. That's all I can tell you. But I talk about different things because there are a lot of things going on. Now, I know we're almost at 99% all invested in finger motion. I got it. But until the company makes those statements and shows us their cards, you know what? I don't see, there's no reason to even talk about it anymore. Selling below $1.50, once it gets above $1.50, then we should have conversations. This down here is just manipulation. There's no selling at all. There's no tax selling. There's nothing going on right now. On footnote, there is the one person had to sell a little bit to pay a bill. And I spoke with them and I said, yeah, do what you have to do. You have to pay your bill. That's the way it goes. But that's like out of thousands of people that I talked to, one person said they sold a little bit to pay a bill. That's life. I can tell you that when I sell MLSS, it's going to jump $5 as soon as I sell it. I can guarantee that. Okay, but anything else?
Oh, there's not a lot of questions. I saw Jeremy Frommer is getting involved with ENZC. Any thoughts? I have no thoughts.
I have no idea what that is.
We need to hear from Martin Shen, and that'll help calm the market. Do Ham's friends still believe?
We have to get in touch with Charlie Sheen?
Shen, Martin Shen, Martin Shen.
Oh.
Do Ham's friends still believe they can move ZJYL?
They've never sold it. You know what? The same group of people, okay, that are in ZJYL or in GDC, they also played around with that HOLO and it went from $1 to 10, $9.25. Today was the high. So when they come around, they come around. That's all. I don't control those people. they make things happen when they want to make it happen. I don't know how they do it or what they do, but that's what happens. If you called up and told me go buy HOLO, it's going to move $8 today, I don't even have $1 because everything I have is locked up. So if you even told me, I couldn't buy it.
So do you think Martin could have raised 100 million on the finger squeeze?
Can he raise 100 million on a finger squeeze?
Well,
yes.
Yeah. This
He's
guy
not gonna
thinks
do
he
it.
looks
Listen.
like the AMC guy.
Well, that person who's speaking, anyone, and I'll give it to you straightforward as an AMC person. If you bought AMC and wants to go from where it was from nothing to $70 and you're still there, shame on you. You should get out of the stock market. You had a stock that had a major win. If you chased it at the top, then you're a novice. That's just the way it is. If you were buying the dips when the stock was crashing, that means you have no idea what a short squeeze is about. The CEO of that company, I posted 50 times. We had people in the skybox with him. I put his photo up there. He doesn't give a fuck. He wants to build his company. He doesn't care about short squeezes. And I posted that straight from his fucking mouth. So if you bought it and it crashed on you, shame on you. And that's why I tell William, I tell people, never chase the short squeeze, right? Very dangerous game. And now there's damage, collateral damage for people like this gentleman who bought AMC and they're sitting around waiting for what he's going to do. AMC and GameStop are very long in the tooth. They both had major squeezes, the opportunity of a lifetime. And to sit here and work for it for years later, you know what? That's not my game. I would never advise that. All right? These things have had major squeezes. 1 to 71, the CEO raised all the money in the world to pay off all the debt that he had building his company. So why is anyone holding it down? I don't know. Maybe they think there's more debt. I have no idea. But I get far away from it. I don't even look at AMC. I could care less. GameStop is a little more different. They raised $5 billion. He's shutting down stores. He's trying to build a business. He's got the hype around it. So that stock you can buy the dip and sell the rip and trade it all day long. Would I tell you to hold on to it? No. I would say buy the dip, sell the rip. If you want to be invested, you buy some cheap calls and forget about it. If it's going to squeeze to $9 million, you could buy the 40s in GameStop for no money and forget about it. Just don't look at it anymore. But to sit here and tell me that it's going to squeeze and it's the play of the year, they did it already. If you missed it, go watch the replay. Go look at the history and go see what they did. Wall Street's pretty funny. Once they make money in something, they all left.
If they can take it down to $1, why don't they knock it down below $1 now? And why didn't they knock it below $1 2 months ago?
In what, finger motion?
I guess finger. He doesn't say.
It depends on the stock. I don't know. If you give me the symbol, I'll discuss it. Then other than that, I can't discuss. I don't know what that means.
I have. Does Ham have an opinion on silver? I doubt it.
No, I don't. I sent you a report on it that there's a big short.
Well, yeah, the shorts. There's a guy out there, Bill Holter. He sounds just like Ham. I'll play him one time for you about the shorts and the undelivered and it can't go on forever. And when it goes, it's gonna, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. This guy was talking about finger going under $1.
All right, so they can't listen. Finger motion. These guys are trying to cover. The signs are there to cover. The curveball that was thrown to all of us was the company raised the money. So the company raised the money at $1.50. And if you looked at the opening trades that day, the stock hit 145 and it was bouncing up to 160. If you can remember the day they did the secondary, I did. and they didn't want the stock bouncing back up. It's a one-time event. 3 million shares were sold. Someone paid for it. If they wanted to sell it, the 3 million would come out at $1.50. But someone came in with a wave of selling, and we reported it. I think it was 1.4 million shares were naked shorted on that day of 4 million shares. I even posted there was a lot of wash trades that day. These guys are trying to push it down to get people to panic. They want you, everyone on this phone, they want you to sell it lower. They do not want to sell it lower. And for the gentleman said, why don't they push it lower? Because if they thought they can win, why don't they just let it go higher? If you think they're going to win, why won't they let it go higher? Why would you sell so many shares trying to press it down to $1? You know that with every share, the most they can make is $1. Someone just paid $1.50, and I said it on this call. If they pushed it down to 80 cents, let's say, I would call the company up and say, hey, you sold stock at $1.50, buy it all back as much as you can up to $1. That's a great trade. It's like they were a short seller. They sold it at $1.50, buy it back at $1, and you can reduce the float again and put $500,000 in your pocket. Let's say they bought 1 million shares. They make $500,000 in profit, and they can reduce the float by 1 million. They gave out 3, it's down to 2. That's a great trade.
Its finger looks pretty strong today, considering it's the last day of the year. Up 4.5 cents. Maybe Roth will get it back to 150 and do a good job.
Listen, Roth 100% is going to do a report on it. There's not even a question about that.
Yeah. So that's good.
And William, I'm going to send you something right now. Let's see if I can get it here. Give me a second. I'm going to send you 2 charts. These are 2 stocks that our friend at Buy-ins did recently.
I don't know how to put. Oh, I know how. I can hold them up.
Well, I've just sent you 2 on your text message right now.
Yeah.
Those are 2 symbols. There's reports attached to it. I'll send you a report later. But this is the gentleman that's going to do reports on finger motion. All right, the big shareholders have reached out to him, and they want to retain him to do reports on finger motion with the data on naked shorts being attached to these plays. When he gets behind it, he has 1 million people that actually look for short squeeze plays, and we're going to throw this in their face and say, okay, Jeff Easton, we're not going away. We can pay for content. We can do what we want to do also. Fuck you. And we're just going to keep bringing the army to him. Now the company's got the fundamentals, and the company will do their thing, and we're going to do our thing. Fuck you.
Oh, that one was MY. Was that the second one? Is MY? SZ. It's hard to read.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2 stocks went up.
Well, let me see if I can get the rest of it to you. Give me a second.
If they have the symbols, I can pull those up.
I get the reports. Here's one of them. Hold on a second, William. Let me just get it. So goddamn demanding, William. It's the last day of the year.
You don't have to use that expression.
Here's what the report looks like, William. Hold on. I'm sending it to you right now. I don't know what symbol this is. Maybe you can see it on your phone.
Maybe.
Oh, WMY Mary Yellow Sam Zebra. You did a report on it. There's one part of the report. I just sent it to you.
MYSZ.
Yeah.
So let me pull up the chart and see what happened. Are you saying it went up because of his report?
I am saying 100% it went up because of his report.
MYSZ. MYSZ. My size.
My size. And if you look at the chart, I don't know how high it went. I can't see it. Maybe you could tell us, William.
Well, it looks like it gapped. It went
It looks
from
like it went from nothing to something.
it went
to
from
$9.
150 to 4, then to 8, pulled back, I guess, and then it went to 9.5, and now it's 430.
What was the other one? That's the one I
Let me
looked at.
see what the other one says. I don't know if you sent it to me.
No, I didn't get it to you. Let me get it. Sorry.
I can't read the other one.
All right, give me a break. Nasty. I think this is it. William, hold on a second. I think I got it. You gonna make it to 12 o'clock?
I had a doctor's appointment, so I didn't get
You
my
would. I
napkin.
think that's it, William. Can you see this one?
QMCO.
Right.
Q.
This stock never traded, and it just took off, and I think it went to $90. I'm not a QMCO.
QMCO. Quantum Corp. Oh, it's that computer company.
It went from nothing, $2 to 90.
That's
after
right.
this report.
That's right. It did. Or
After-
it went up because it's AI. One or the other.
Well, it didn't do anything until this report came out, so
Right.
I don't think people said, "Oh."
And it's still $52.
Right, down 10 today.
Wow.
So shame on you if you watched to go to 90, you didn't make a sell. Shame on you. That's why I tell you that when they start to go up, you make small sales and you always protect yourself. The AMC people and the GameStop people that are still stuck from years ago, we're chasing stocks and are novices. And the SEC should be ashamed of themselves because they created the short squeeze. And just so you understand, everyone, over the years, the SEC has made statements. They hate short squeezes because guess what happens? Innocent people or novice investors always get caught up and become collateral damage in this event. They chase something that they think is going, and they wind up getting smoked on it. And that's what happened in KOSS, AMC, GameStop, and many others. And I've always told everyone here that I like to buy things when they're going sideways, okay? When there's no real volatility. You buy them before they go. And you have to, when you do buy them, they normally are very quiet and nothing's going on. But once they erupt, you have to make a determination that you're going to protect yourself and save and make some sales. If you own 1,000 shares and the stock jumps 3 points and we think it's going way higher, I agree. Sell 100 shares. It goes up $6, sell 100 shares. Goes up $10 more, sell 100 shares. All your money's off the table. You have 700 shares left, and you can get out as it starts to run. Instead of waiting, watching it, reading about it, hearing about it, and then chasing it up $5, like people were talking about HOLO today, that it was going, and it went to 9, and it went straight back down. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to chase them up there. Not every time is a winner when you're buying stuff that's going sideways. But you don't get wiped out and lose $3, $4. Now you're sitting here, you don't know what the hell to do with it. That's what you don't want to do. And that's what everyone does. And I keep trying to tell you, you got to give up on these things, chasing them, because you get your ass kicked all the time. All it takes is one ass kicking to wipe you out. You know that, right?
I know.
That's what happens. Any other questions?
Liposome, LPSN. Liposome? I don't know. That's just LPSN. We'll go to
It's trading
70.
46 million shares today. Well, the pattern with these things, I don't know what he did yesterday, I don't know. But the pattern's been, the first day you get these little spikes of 30, 40 cents, go up to $2, then knock it down, so it's up 50 cents, whatever. And it's pulled back. I don't know anything about it because I haven't been following it, but that would be a pattern that, if I was trading, if I knew anything about it, I would buy the dip on this thing. I would, if I was gonna
Wow,
buy.
it's a game changer, LSPN, but it's already up, so it's
Yeah, no, I'm just
dangerous.
saying that if you wanted to buy the dip, if you wanted to play this thing, instead of paying $2, you want to stop. Listen, I would buy, if you want to play, you want to buy 500 at 160, 500 at 140, 500 at 130, maybe 500 at $1.10 if it breaks down. And this way you got 2,000 shares, and you get a 130 average. And if it turns and it gets another leg to it, that's when you can make money. I would never I would never jump into this thing at $1.60. If you think it's going to bounce from here, you go out and buy 100 shares, and you catch the bounce. Other than that, no, I don't know anything about it.
Do you know the symbol ASST?
ASST?
Yeah, assistant.
No, I don't dabble in small pennies. I just don't, anything that's broken $1. You need a history. You got to understand what you're doing. I don't understand. I don't know these stocks. So I would talk. I'm sure it's a great company. I'm sure they're being manipulated, but again, I don't play stocks that I don't know anything about.
Are you going down to Times Square tonight?
Yes, I'm going to get mugged at Times Square tonight. They got 600 rookie cops there. And guys, I don't know if you ever seen the state of the police in New York City.
Yeah.
Most people aren't here from here. They have hired people that are, we used to have, all male police force, and cops are in shape, and very few females. Now we have a lot of female police officers out there, which I have no problem with, but they're not exactly, intimidating forces. They're 5'3" women, which I don't believe they should be out there in the street. There's gang members running all over the place. If you were to see the 600 rookie cops, you would sit there and say, "Oh my God, we're going to get wiped out."
It's a hell of a price.
There's not a prayer. I would walk around Times Square with 600 rookie cops there. The veterans are all retiring, and you got rookie cops dealing with professional gang members, and they're just going to be robbing tourists on all those side streets. If you've ever been to Times Square, there's a lot of dark alleys around that place.
It's a hell of a price to pay for being stylish.
Yeah. I'll pause on them all. Send them all home.
What's on the move?
But
What's on the move?
I don't know.
I played George Donahue's video.
It's great. Guys, I'm gonna get my ass down to go down and meet that guy.
I met him in DC. He's a good guy. He's a big guy.
I mean, he's educated himself.
Do you know the Madoff people got 98% of their money back?
Yes, and you know what? The Madoff people
Madoff.
all wealthy, super wealthy attorneys, doctors, lawyers, but they're all, I have to tell you, and I'm telling you the way it is, they are a very powerful gang of people. They're all Jewish, and they all made a big stink. And have
You're so anti-Semitic, I can't believe it.
And they got paid off because of the pressure from wealthy people putting pressure on the government.
Yeah.
And people are telling me MMTLP is going to get the same type of treatment. I really doubt it. They do not have the powerful Jewish community behind them. They do not. The powerful, wealthy Jewish community are the ones that force that issue, not the government. So I wish you good luck. I hope you do get paid. But to me, they paid off one portion of the country and their money. Those people invested with Madoff, and that's their problem. If you invest and you get wiped out, that's your problem, not the government's problem.
They did that with that SVB bank, SVM bank. It was a bunch of Democrats. I don't think it was any particular type of person, just Democrats. They bailed them all
Yeah,
out.
wealthy,
And
they
Sharon
bailed them out,
Stone
right?
bailed her out.
They bailed out the people. When powerful people lose, they bail them out. When we
Yeah.
lose, it's like you're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Like MMTLP, it's your fault you bought it. Well, what about the people who invested in Bernie Madoff? It's their fault too. Why'd you pay them back? Why did you fix that? It's a disgrace when I saw it, and I felt bad because these people thought they're going to get the same payoff in MMTLP, and there's not a prayer that the government will ever bow down and pay off a debt by a crime. This is just, I don't, how they got that done is very strong political people, I'm sure.
Roth did the at the monies for ASST or whatever the symbol is, and CDXC. They both had big moves to the upside. Wow. Okay, so maybe Roth is legit.
The problem is we're dealing with Christmas and New Year's. And in between it, we have days where I usually get about 300 phone calls. I've gotten 4 today.
Not from me.
I didn't even get one from you. So this shows you that if I'm not getting calls, that it's a very quiet day and people are sitting here adjusting whatever they have to do and then going home and enjoying the New Year's. That's what I would suggest to everybody here. I wish MLSS was over $1. I could make a determination what I want to do and use the funds for something else. But I'm not going to look at it. It's in the right direction.
Your other one's up. You pointed that out to everybody. G-Bucks.
Yeah, just saying that. Yeah, I told you that there's a guy short the stock trying to buy it back, and someone called me up and said they got a call. I think it's 270,000 or something like that. I forgot the number. I'm just showing you that these guys short anything. But I think the game has changed where the short sellers are not getting bigger. I think they're getting smaller. Meaning that any new positions is like, I'll short it, I'll take a shot, I'll short 10, 20, 30,000 shares. It starts to move and they're putting their hands up and saying, hey, I can't get any bigger. I think the game has changed as far as that goes on. What else, William?
Line of All Trades is streaming right now with charts. You guys can go over there. MFA shares. There's not a lot of questions.
If you don't have a lot of questions, I'll bow out and go enjoy the rest of my day. I'll go to the gym, do my shorts, and I went to therapy today, working on my left leg again.
I have to go get some painkiller. I'm getting gout in my left foot.
Ugh. Go have a glass of wine.
Ugh. Terrible.
Doesn't that make it worse?
I don't know what makes it worse. Stress. Going live. I don't know.
Hey, William, I have a question. Is DC, did they wrap the Capitol up in barbed wire?
Apparently they put walls up again, fencing up again. I haven't walked up there, but apparently they have it up.
Someone called and told me they did that. I'm like, these people are just ridiculous. They should be, anyone who's doing stuff in this government.
Well, where the Capitol is, I think while he comes out to speak, they should surround that because he'll be vulnerable to be shot if they don't.
Yeah, I'm just saying that you shouldn't do anything. Just go into no one cares about the parades or that stuff. Just get this shit done, throw all these people out. Anyone that's creating interference, lock them up, and that's the end of the conversation. That's it. And move along, get this country going in the right direction, fix the stock market, and let's get moving here. I'm sick of, I'm not a political guy. They can all fucking drop dead. They all stole everybody's money. They don't do anything. They're all of them, Republican, I don't give a shit who they are. Someone needs to step up. No one steps up, you're all fucked. I can trade my way out of it, and you guys better learn how to do it.
What's your expectation on MLSS?
I believe the company, if you read the news, we were there because they got some positive deals done with their epidural. And I think that every woman in the world gets epidural shots. And I think I give you the numbers on how many they give out a year.
I didn't know they presented at Benchmark's investor conference December 11th. No wonder it got shorted.
Yeah. But anyway, my friends are they've been buying all the shares down here. So, I know they keep telling me to hold on, don't worry. And so and that's why I followed it. But the company came out with the news is out there. And what did we say before? When the company gets contracts, it takes a little time for it to get ramped up, right? Mm-hmm. People want companies to get a contract to say, oh, the next day we just sold $20 million worth of it. It doesn't happen like that. You get approvals, you get contracts, and it starts to build, and it's the momentum builds. And you know what? We'll turn around, by luck, I'll sell it at 6 or 7, whatever. And we'll see it at $60 or $70 in 2 years from now. And you can say, boy, that idiot sold it there. I mean, that's just what happens. There's nothing I can say.
They always go up after you sell them.
And listen, people that need an epidural, it has to be precise where you get it. So it's going into your spine, and these guys are experts on it. It's not like Netflix. Netflix puts out a new movie and the stock will go up $10. These guys are helping your wives, your daughters have babies, or anybody who needs an epidural for any other reason. It's not that exciting. It could save your life. It can keep you out of a lot of pain. But it's not Netflix. Netflix puts out a new movie and it goes up $10, like I said. So to me, the epidural stock is more important than the Netflix. I don't need to see Seinfeld 50 different ways on Netflix or some old show on Netflix. That just shows you how screwed up the stock market is. Something that can actually make your life better, help you give birth to a healthy child, whatever it may be. No value. Netflix makes a stupid movie, shows an old movie, and it has value. Got me.
Do you know the stock QSI?
Let me see the name.
QSI.
Quantum.
Oh, it's quantum? Okay.
No, there was another one. Quantum Computers. I forget this one was. I met those guys in New York. QNTN maybe. No, that's not it. It was a Quantum Computer. Their stock recently took off. I forgot the symbol on it. But I met those guys in New York City at a dinner. Really smart guys from IBM. Really bright guys. And, their stock had a squeeze a bunch of years ago, and I think it started again. But
do you ever talk about the repo market? I try to follow it. I bought a book on it to read it on Amazon. I got it hardcover. When I opened it up, it was about women's empowerment. Somebody had switched the glossy cover of the book and stuck another book inside of it. It was like $89 for the book. But I guess they made some money off of me. But anyway, I've heard there's something going on in the repo market, and it's liquidity. There's a problem, but I don't understand it.
I agree with that 100%. There's problems in the back offices. There's all types of problems going on that are way above all our heads. Everything that's been done in this equity market has been allowed by the government. Everything is. You just don't look at the Big Short with Selena Gomez. When she was at the blackjack table and she was making a bet, I forget what the chef's name was, the guy who died recently. And
Dan?
I forget the name, but they were making a bet, and the people behind them were making a bet on her bet. And the people behind them made a bet on the people in front of them. So everything is so over-leveraged that eventually it's going to unwind and people are going to get stopped.
It's all paper on paper on paper on paper.
William, I put up a post yesterday. $1 trillion has been added to the ETF markets this year of investors' money.
And the ETFs fake the securities inside of there. They lend them out, they hypothecate and rehypothecate. And
so there's $1 trillion has been added to the equity markets this year, up 30% from the year before. So the hedge funds all know there's $1 trillion of fresh money to steal from. That's what they did. So what's to take a quick 20, 30 billion off of the 1 trillion, right?
yeah,
Steal 50 billion, they won't even know it's missing. And that's what they do. I mean, it's just a disgrace. No one's protecting everyone's investments coming in. Listen, the investments in the equity market are here to aid. If you're a good investor, you learn how to trade stocks and you can make money. But the money is supposed to be used for companies to help grow, not destroy them. A small company can hire 30 people, 40 people, right? 40 people. They work in a nice office, they rent an office, they build products. Wall Street has turned it into just steal that $1 trillion. That's all it is.
better get it while no one's looking.
And look at AMC for example. I love going to the movies. I go all the time. We bought this stupid bucket, the Coliseum bucket, the popcorn bucket. I do the right thing. I always go, try to support them. And the stock doesn't do anything. Who's trying to kill this company? Why are they trying to knock it out of business? I don't know. But they're trying their best. They don't let it go up, and they're making the poor people suffer. You know, for whatever reason it may be, I don't know. But again, this is what goes on. I don't understand it. Everybody loves to go to the movies. They take their kids to the movies. You know, we all grew up going to the movies. And now it's a bad thing? I don't understand it, you know. Everyone's going to sit in the house and watch Netflix. You know, look at Amazon. They turned everybody to order stuff online. No one ever goes to a store anymore. Everybody sits in their little caves, and that's it. I don't understand it. I never ordered anything from Amazon. That's not true. I ordered a pickleball paddle. I'm sorry.
The doctor today told me I need to start playing pickleball.
Come learn with me, William.
That's lucky coughing.
I can tell you this. If you're my partner, you will get pummeled because everybody hates me. So you'll hit it at you.
Which side of me will get pummeled?
If you turn it and look away, you'll get it in the back. I played with a woman last week. I think I told you the story. Against two guys that actually I tortured a bunch of times, and they played against me. And the woman was standing too close to the front of the court. Her name was Lulu. I said, Lulu, I think you should move back a little bit. She turned around. Don't tell me how to play. I looked at the two guys. This is, go ahead, hit it. They nailed it a bunch of times. This is, I told you. They're not going to hit it to me. They hit it to you.
Lulu, I'm going to turn you into Lee.
She took a bunch of bullets.
Eunice is now playing pickleball because of you, and he's killing it on the court.
Very nice. Enjoy it. Meet a lot of people. It's very social. And if you get to be disgusting like me, you'll have more fun. But I'm going to go meet that guy, George Donahue. I'm going to go out of my way to find him. That guy deserves a medal. He came from nowhere. He educated himself. He's digging into the fails.
I don't know how nowhere he came from, because I think he might be an attorney. When I met him, he didn't seem like he came from nowhere. He's pretty substantial guy.
Listen, I've been doing this since 2000. He wasn't in my picture to 2015.
Oh, I see what you mean. In terms of knowledge on shorts, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he's posting, he's doing great videos, and I've always said that about the guy. He's making it sound just the way it should be. It's very easy. Don't get into all the technical bullshit that these people try to, even Susan Trimbath, all right, she turns it into, well, a fail to deliver can also be, it's a fail to receive. She's making it sound like it's a quick kickoff in a football game. When people sell a counterfeit share, they can't deliver it because they made it up. So it's a failure to deliver. They're not delivering anything. It's pretty easy. That's it. They try to turn it into more. It's a naked short. It's not a naked short. It's a counterfeit. They created the word naked short because they made it sound better. People think, oh,
He's a tall guy, Vin. To my memory, he was a tall guy and very athletic. So he plays a lot of golf.
What are you talking about?
George Donahue plays a lot of golf.
Well, you won't bump into me then because I don't go near a golf course.
Yeah.
I used to use the sand wedge because I had golf clubs a long time ago. I used to use the sand wedge to pick up dog shit in my backyard and scoop it into the scooper with the sand wedge. That's what I use my golf clubs for.
I guess all of your shots would hook to the left with your lobster claw on your right arm.
It definitely overpowers it. You're right, but if it does go to the left.
Put topspin on it.
Yeah, the top spin. It's like I'm Wimbledon every time I hit the ball.
Novak Djokovic won his first match of the year of the new
he's still
season.
playing? Oh, God. How old is that guy? 80?
He's going to be 38 this year. He's 37 right
God.
now, and
He's washed up, that poor guy.
he's in pretty good shape. And Yannick Sinner might get banned for substance abuse. So who knows? Maybe
What's
he
he
can
taking?
get.
I want to take that. If he's playing, if those guys are playing that well, taking something, what is it? Give me the juice. I'm willing to take it.
The only problem is you lose your hair if you take it.
That's okay. Maybe you grow back on me. You can't help yourself. You got to keep coming after me with the hair thing, right?
And you start talking 3 octaves higher. And your outie becomes an innie.
How did it become innie? All right, so everybody, nothing else going on?
There isn't anything really. My ex-wife is now a sandwich, only good from about 100 yards. I don't know what that means, but
That's a golf thing.
it's an attempt.
Is there any
at
other
humor.
questions? I'll
No,
tell you, we'll reconvene on Thursday, I guess. Today's Tuesday, Wednesday we're off. We got a couple of football games, and hold on a second. Well, Michigan's about to beat Alabama. Thank God.
That'll change our lives.
That's going to change everyone's lives here. Well, it makes me happy. We have to dismantle the.
Is Alabama the Crimson Tide?
It's the high tide. We call it the high tide.
The High Tide? What's Michigan?
Wolverines. They're blue. Big blue.
Big Blue.
All right, so we have no more questions. We're all okay, and we can make it through the holiday here, and we'll sketch on.
Yeah, I'm
Thursday.
happy.
Show them those reports. Show them those charts if you can. Show them on your phone with them.
Yeah, I showed the charts. I don't know how to get
I don't think
the
I'm allowed
reports.
to. I'm allowed to post that, so I can't post it, but you can show them.
I'm not going to post it if you're not allowed.
No, you could do it. I can't.
Mm.
So,
All right. Thank
everyone
you.
have a good New Year. I'll see you on Thursday.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Call ended.
All right. So I don't know what else to talk about. I was looking for an article anywhere on silver or gold that's new. I can't find any. So maybe by Thursday I'll have found one. Back to that thing about silver at $29. It's a manipulated asset. As John Crossan points out, platinum also fulfills this, but silver is the only asset out there that hasn't hit all-time highs. Everything else is at all-time highs in this everything bubble. and it'll catch up at some point. I've got to take my foot I can feel it swelling. I got to go take some pain medicine, and hopefully that'll go down. To the gentleman, I guess it was Jay Abrams, what I said about Neil Diamond, I brought two albums to college. There might have been one other, but anyway, it's just two. My roommate laughed at me. One was Neil Diamond and one was Johnny Cash. Those were my singers that I liked. And no, I didn't say my favorite Jewish singer. Just said that my favorite singer was Neil Diamond. So that's all I said. I'm going to have my eye operation here in 2 weeks. And the doctor, she just gave me permission today. My blood pressure is down. She was very happy. Audit done on finger. Well, Matt, my experience recently and not so recently, audits and lawyers hold up everything. Auditors, lawyers, they don't think like we do. They're not urgent. Everything is, they're a different kind of thought process. Thank you, technologically spastic. I hope all of you have a very happy, safe, warm, loving, hopeful, joyous New Year tonight. And I'm sorry that, these stocks didn't do what I had hoped, which was give us a little bit of money to create our own financial independence. So we've got to do it. We've just got to do it from where we are. And silver, gold, oil and gas, miners, it's where you're going to want to be in 2025. Can Martin Shen come here live? I don't know. Maybe. He doesn't like being live, but I'll ask him. But I believe Roth, until Roth says he's released from whatever contract they signed, I think Roth has to give him permission for that. So I don't think it's going to happen, let's say, I don't think it's going to happen this week, but I'm not even sure it'll happen next week. I think it'll have to be, I think Roth has to get that stock to $1.50, $1.60 before their job is done. Thank you, John. Same to you. Thank you, Big JR. Woo, look at that. Looky there. Of course, the criminals marketplace is already that big. It's already that big. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. So it's 3:13. Why don't we call it there? I'm sorry that it's, I don't have the energy to go longer. I need to take some painkillers and hopefully anti-inflammatory as well. I have to go to a different doctor. She gave me a rheumatologist. And apparently she's very in demand. To get an appointment with this doctor, I might not be able to see her for 6 months apparently, but I'll go do it. All right. Happy New Year, everyone. Peace to everyone. Peace in the Middle East and peace in the Ukraine. Peace around the world. And Happy New Year to all. everybody, every single human being, Happy New Year.